and I lost a lot of the things I was going to say because I didn't show up as being live for like 35 minutes. So now we are on the air, both live on Facebook and on YouTube. And the title is So. Oh, well, you win some, you lose some. I'm like eating a banana because I'm hungry and I'm dipping it in peanut butter because it's easy and I can. Crazy day. Crazy, crazy day. Oops, I'm making a mess. Peanut butter on my arm, on my leg, on the banana. Hmm. Hold on. Starting a whole new trash. I think I'm gonna have a peanut butter sandwich. I'm jonesing for peanut butter. Nothing like a peanut butter sandwich. And my drink, since I have it. Oh, that's okay, Adolfo. It rains and it pours and then it's sunny. So tomorrow will be sunny and it'll be just fine. But today, it kind of sucked. To get back, I just pour my peanut butter on my sandwich. It's like, oh boy. I have a little bit extra today. Oh, yep, back. Oh, yeah. Open face. I can. I don't even know what to say to describe the frustration level that I hit today, but it wasn't like the worst thing because let's face it, there are worse things in life than, you know, missing out on an appointment because you didn't check your email and the appointment wasn't even something that needed to take place. I think I'm going to turn this off. I don't think I need that on right now. It's not that hot or anything. But yeah, so I get back Well, the video kind of says it all. When I get back, oh, I don't want to get hit in the face by my broken lock. So I get back, right? And I'm like super excited. I'm going to get my bike. I'm going to hop on the train and then ride my bike home. So I get there and I'm thinking, is this the right train station? It's because I remember putting my I don't see it. And then I look down and there's this. It's my lock that I bought at Target the other day for like $12. And this is where, you know, it had a little combination thing with letters on it. It was in pieces on the floor. They didn't need to cut the cable. They're too smart for that. They just pounded the shit out of this thing and made it cough up this lock. See? Because it had a thing that went through and then it locked in. And it locked in like that, right? Yeah, it's locked, right? And it had that little combination thing. And then they just cracked the crap out of it and opened it right up. And I had no bike after that. And no basket either. It's all gone. Only thing left is this. This is it. My bike. Well, I didn't pay a dime for my bike. I found it. But it was a good bike. And eventually I was thinking about, getting a different bike or whatever. But for the time being, it was going to be just fine. It was working. I had it great, But I guess everything happens for a reason. And so this happened for a reason, obviously. It's a lesson to learn, something that the lesson, I don't know, the universe wants to teach me about, maybe patience. I don't know. Can you tell me what lesson I was supposed to learn from this? All I know is that I went to that appointment. I got there. It was raining and drizzly. And I get this note. It's on the door. It's on the door to the office, right? It says this. Thanks, Amanda. Sorry to hear you've lost your push bike. Yeah, I know. But thank you for acknowledging it. So this note, right? And it says Lynna L. It's on the door. I open it up. And it reads. Can you read that, you guys? We apologize for the inconvenience today, Monday, June 11th. Appointment needs to be rescheduled. Barbara's daughter has injured her shoulder and an immediate doctor visit is required. We tried to reach you via email. We do not have a current telephone number on file. Please call and I can get you back on schedule as soon as possible. Have a great evening. Thank you, Finale. Beverly. Well, I get this. I'm like, great. This is great. I just came all the way out here. All the way. Let me do a David Letterman. All the way out here. For what? For what? I know. I did, but I did. I just thought that this would work. I didn't know it wasn't going to work. I mean, yes, it's a Mickey Mouse lock. You're right. It is. I'll give you that. But I could have spent money on a $24.99 U lock, which I should have gotten, but then I would have had to install it on my bike and right. Well, I guess that's my lesson. Never buy Mickey or Minnie Mouse lock. Don't do it. It's not going to work. It sucks. So not only am I out the money, the lock didn't work. I'm going to bring it back to Target and tell them your crappy lock didn't even work. It like broke. It like they like laughed probably and looked at it and go, "Oh my gosh, this is so easy." King. Free bike. It wasn't a great bike anyway. It was just my bike. The gears didn't shift right. But, for maybe $150 or something, it would definitely, it would definitely suffice for, instead of getting a new bike, it would have worked out. Instead, I still have my rollerblades. And I like my rollerblades. And no one can steal my rollerblades because then they'd have to steal my feet. And I won't let them do that. But I don't know. It is what it is. I did have a great day though. It was fun. I like being in pressure situations and stuff and not knowing if I could get home in time and blah blah blah. I'm just kind of a thrill seeker that way. So deadlines, kind of excite me in a sick kind of a way. But I'm having peanuts. You guys want some peanuts? Unsalted. I tried the salted ones. I didn't like them. I like the ones that are unsalted. Oops. Thanks, Amanda. She says, if I had the cash, I would buy you a new bike. It's okay. It's just something I'll have to budget for next month. Easy come, easy go. Yeah, that's true. Like the universe gives and the universe takes away. Of course, if I had a U-lock, it wouldn't have been taken away. But then maybe it would have. Who knows, right? They are better for you. Much better for me. Yummy good. So I ended up arriving back to the Union Depot station and transferring over to the bus station. I went the wrong way though. I went up the street and there was no bus stop over there. So I had to come all the way back. And then eventually I was able to not miss my bus and I got back somewhere around 10. Yeah, back to Paula's around 10. Sometimes life is like that, you guys. It makes lemons. And what do I say? You gotta make lemonade, right? Well, I tried to make lemonade today, but I don't know. I kind of failed at it. I did use some therapy though. Retail therapy. It's always a good thing to what you are the nuts. What you are the nuts. Peanuts. I did go to Macy's today. Macy's! Yay, Macy's! And they had some sandals. Yes, they had some sandals. So, I got myself a pair of sandals. Comfortable. Summer. Fun. Nice. Sandals. They're called, let me see the name. Bear Traps. Rebound. Refresh, recharge, rebound. That's what I need to do. Ultra cushion footbed, built-in arch support, responsive sole, antimicrobial shield, vibration absorbing, slip resistant thread. All that in one sandal. Fortunately, there are two. So, gratefully, that would be a bummer, wouldn't it, if they were the same foot? But fortunately, I have two sandals. So, not all is lost. They're usually, oh, you take the price off? Oh, the price was on underneath. They are usually $60, and I got them for $25. So more than 50% off for a nice pair of sandals. My new sandals. Bear Traps. So it's not all a waste. Thank you, Amanda. You like them? Go to the top of the class. Yeah, so needless to say, the rain was like nonstop. So while I was there, I had to get to my appointment, right? So I'm like scrambling. I'm like, how am I going to get there? I need an umbrella, right? Go to Sears. I didn't want the plain black one. It's kind of boring, right? So I found this little cute one right here. And I know you're not supposed to open it and stuff. It's a small little thing. But it doesn't really do that well in like that kind of windy weather. So eventually I was able to use it, and hopefully it doesn't break because umbrellas always break. But yeah, so I have my umbrella. Yeah, right? Cute little umbrella. Thing is, if it's 10-mile-an-hour wind or more, the whole thing starts shaking like crazy. You know, it's just like, and then I saw others that, you know, the little plasticky ones, the clear ones that go down and kind of dome over your head. You know, this one is small, it's practical, but it's not very good in wind. It does not do well. But it did what it needed to do for me. It got me to the appointment, but apparently the appointment wasn't on today. So I have to go all the way out there another day. And it's not like I don't have a date with the mall over there, but that's what I got going on. Put it in its little sleeve. Let me see if I can find it. Where's my sleeve? Here it is. It's a cute little thing though. It's small. I mean, at least, if it's not going to be super duper practical, at least it's cute and it's kind of like, you could stick it in your purse and take it with you. So it's not all a loss. So I just put the little protector on it. And it's a cute little thing, right? Little, tiny, small. I went to the nail place. I thought, oh, maybe I could just spend time getting my nails done because my nails are nasty. Look at it. Look at that. Awful. Look at it. 2 nails gone. 3 nails gone. And then you look at the tips. Look, you click and use it, and then that's your ticket, right? And I think you have to ticket activated, right? And then it changes color. Yellow, blue, yellow, blue. But yeah, so it was my pass, right? So my phone died, and I had to say, I'm so sorry. I had a pass on here and it's an all-day pass, but my phone died. And he's like, okay, no problem. Click, get me on. So I was able to get on the bus without having to pay more. I pulled out $1 so if I'd have to pay more. But thankfully I didn't, which is a good thing. In other news, my contacts from Mexico came. I got this from people that sold me my contacts in Mexico. Mark and I went down to Palomas in Mexico, and we ended up getting glasses. But I also ended up getting a prescription for contacts, and it's super cheap. I got these boxes, Cooper Vision. I don't think they even make it here in the United States, but I think it's like $30 a box or a pair or something like that. Super cheap compared to what you would be paying in the States. And the appointment, the contact exam didn't cost anything. It was free. So I was able to get my contacts. I was able to get my prescription lenses. I was able to get my frames and everything for I think Mark and I pay $200 total. And he got transition lenses. I got transition lenses. I got new frames. He kept his frames. But yeah. So that's kind of what happened today. I think I'm just going to have one piece of bread. That was plenty for me. It's a big piece, so I'll put it away. I need it another day. Or maybe I'll snack on something else. I don't know. some grapes, maybe? Nah. I feel like eating something crunchy. Crunchy. Where is something crunchy? Oh, crunchy. Oh. There is something crunchy. I knew I'd find it. I knew I'd find something crunchy. It's these free chips that we got from the food bank that Paula goes to. And it's these Ritz toasted corn chips. Yeah, super good. Let's see what the ingredients are. Whole grain. That's good, whole grain. Masa flour, corn, unbleached enriched flour, wheat flour, corn oil, maltodextrin. Not really good for you, but it's for the cause. And I'm kind of like emotionally eating right now because I'm still in shock about what happened to me today. Oh, great. I didn't close my salsa. So I just kind of take the salsa, kind of dip it in here. Not bad. So let me see. Axel joined me and Kelly Smith and Shane Beadle. Cool. Thank you guys for watching Luna's life. Crazy life. Crazy, crazy life. Just to recap, I lost my bike today to a petty thief. And somebody wrote, did you report it to the police? I'm like, I was just trying to get home. Let alone report it to the police. You know, this isn't the first time I've had my bike, something stolen from me in the cities here. Years ago, I was working for Major League Baseball or for the Minnesota Twins, and I was done with a game, came out to my car. It was at the time a little 1994 gold four-door Saturn, you know, nothing, no frills, crank down windows, automatic, standard manual transmission. Just, you know, it was my little commuter car and it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't there. And I had to take my family that year. We had a trip planned the next day. And I needed to get home in order to take the minivan to go get them, and so that we could leave the next morning for California. Well, my car was nowhere to be found. It had been stolen. Somebody had taken it, and I didn't know where it was. So I filed a report with the police. My friend took me to a rental car place by the airport, and I rented a van, drove it home, spent the night, packed up the kids. Gratefully, I didn't pay a buck for the bike. It was just a bike that I found on the side of the road. So, I guess I'll be winding things down here. I think I shared everything that I needed to share today. Unless you want me to talk about the argument for the existence of God. If you have 8 hours, I can pull out my Bible and dissect that for you, but without, wanting to do that, I think I'll call it a night. Oh my gosh, California, Southern California. What is going on with your state? I was there back in July. My friend cranked open a video from on YouTube of the Santa Ana riverbed and the bike trail that goes all the way out to like Yorba Linda and Corona and all the way down to Newport. That was my hangout. That's where I used to live. And basically, it's like the homeless have overtaken that whole area up by Anaheim Stadium and over like by the block and by that prison and even further, I mean, it's like, what is going on? My friend actually said, if you want to, if you're desperate enough, you could get a tent and just like camp out there because there's so many people out there right now. And I'm like, what in the world is going on with that state? It's like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. It's beyond nuts. It really is. No longer are you able to just enjoy going on a family little bike ride. You have to like watch out, because there's like all these homeless people walking around, have tents right on the side of the bike trail. It is a mess. That's crazy. That is really insane. Jayla, I haven't been able to talk to you in forever. I know. I'll feel better when I get this done. It's like, God, it's so annoying. I think I've tried to do it 2 places now. 2 places. Look at these bad boys, how ugly they are. Nasty. Well, other than having my bike lost, Jayla, I'm doing fine. Or stolen. I bought a Mickey Mouse lock and the Mickey Mouse picked it. So, but I didn't pay a dime for the bike. I found it on the side of the road. But I do have my rollerblades, and no one can steal those because then they'd have to steal my feet. And they won't be stealing my feet because I'll be going too fast for them to catch me. But yeah, it's been an eventful time. That's for damn sure. So I guess I will. Let me see, what time is it? It's 11:29, almost 11:30. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. They are defecating all over, urinating all over, and in the last 2 days, 2 bodies were found off the 210 freeway. Oof. 60 freeway rent is way over the top. That's nuts. That's just crazy talk. It's crazy talk. I mean, the state needs to fix this, Those rents need to come down. What's happening is the haves and the have-nots, there's like this chasm that's growing even wider and wider, for people. Way too much, disparity between the upper class people and then the lower class. It's like losing out on having a like middle class anymore. It's just not feasible these days. So You can't afford to pay almost $1,500 for a one-bedroom apartment. I couldn't do that. That's ridiculous. You'd have to like move to like Hemet or something, or Hesperia, or better yet, Apple Valley. Now, a name like Apple Valley, doesn't that sound appealing to everyone? You get to go to a place where they have apples in the valley. No. It's like a desert, and there's nothing there but heat, and is ugly, you know. Just ugly. Shoo. Really? That is a sneeze. I don't know. Jeez. Another one. Bless me, I guess. I don't know. Is it from the pressures of today? I don't know. I'm still munching. But you know what I'll eat instead of these chips? Instead of these? These are good, but they're addicting good, in a not so good way, if you guys know what I mean. So I will wrap these up. And I'll share with you what I do when I'm hungry, but I don't really want to eat stuff that's going to not be good for me. So ever since becoming a vegan, I can do this. And I know that many of you guys be like, ew, gross, I can't believe you're doing that. What are you eating? That's nasty. Well, here it is. It is da, 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 da. Oh, and it's actually not even a whole one. It's a carrot. Yeah. A carrot. The venerable carrot. Wonderful. Edible, not egg. Carrot. Crunchy. And you can dip it into salsa too. See that? And it's like a chip. It's crunchy. And it's good for you. You don't have to worry about oil, sugar. You just eat a carrot. It's actually pretty good when you think about it. Because I think mentally, our bodies really want something crunchy. So if we can kind of trick it and get it to like the crunchiness of a carrot, then we're in business. And it's actually just as pleasant as my chips with the salsa was. I could probably get guac and dip it. Super cool. But putting up my peanuts. I guess tomorrow I'm finally gonna do my laundry. I have no bike, so I can only rollerblade. And my feet are not feeling it for rollerblading right now. I don't know what it is, but my new skates just don't feel as comfortable as the old ones did. The tiny carrots are a great snack too, and great to take to work, even with a little dressing. And they are. And, you could substitute dressing for salsa, any kind of salsa. Because it's really good, you know. And, I mean, dressing sometimes is hiding fat and sugar in it. Oh, I broke them in. Shane, I rode them that first day. I rode them like 25 miles. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That stinks. This one's medium salsa, but it'd probably be spicy for you. But they have the mild. Is mild too spicy as well? So at least I have these. At least I have these. These are my only other modes of transportation are my skates. And I like them. They have these, instead of the laces, like having to tie them, it's called speed lacing. So you pull on them and it kind of locks it in. And then when you want to loosen it, you pull up on this thing right here and it loosens them. And, it's got Velcro. It goes around here. You tie it up like that. And then this little thing obviously latches in here. It's open, and then you put it through the thing, notch it in, snap it back, kaboom. But yeah, these were pretty good. $75, I think. Yeah. It's a really cool idea. The only bummer is that they're not as comfortable as my old K2s, my red ones. I went everywhere with my red ones. My red ones were beautiful. I loved them. Maybe I just need to break these in more, but I've ridden 2 times long distances, and it really. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you so much. You're very encouraging. Thank you for all your wonderful compliments and everything. It's so nice. It's so supportive. A person like me, been through a lot, going through a lot. I'm not going to say I'm not the only person who's ever gone through stuff, because I know everybody has their own set of challenges, and mine are just mine. Everybody's got their own, and I'm not some special snowflake. I'm just me. And you know what? I try to just make do with the challenges in life like this. I was like kind of blown away. I was thinking, wow, when I literally saw pieces of this thing, the little tumblers and everything that goes on here on the floor. I shot some video of it, but I was catching my train. Couldn't do it all. But I was like, wow, my bike is gone. All that time wanting to buy a lock for it. And I had a big one at first, but I didn't want to spend the money. So I thought I could just buy this. It's not a big deal. People don't steal bikes. It's an old bike. Got a bad tire. Yeah, well, people steal bikes. Doesn't matter if they have a bad tire. I guess they can make money on it, so they take it. But things like this, things like today, where you can't really do anything about it, like my email, it shows up yesterday, and if I would have read it, I would have not had gone. I wouldn't have lost my bike, and I wouldn't have gotten my sandals. But she writes to me, I'm so sorry to do this, but I have to reschedule your appointment tomorrow. My daughter hurt her shoulder. So she sent me the email. It was like 6:40, It was like 6:40 yesterday. So she did what she was supposed to do. She just didn't have my phone number. And I guess it is what it is. But these little things are challenges in life. And either we can complain about them or we can just welcome them and allow ourselves to maybe develop more patience, maybe make ourselves a better person by thinking, wow, what can I do in this situation now? I can get mad. I could get mad at the person who stole my bike. Or I can look at it as an opportunity to develop patience and to appreciate what I did have when I did have it. I appreciated having that bike. It wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good. It was a nice bike, and it was free. That's the important thing. It was free. And I spent $15 on a basket, which I loved. It was like a little pop-off, quick release. I thought no one's gonna steal that bike. It's so nerdy, right? It's got a basket in the front. Why would you want it? Well, and it was in public daylight too. It's not like it was hiding in some little corner. It was like right at the train station, right next to a pipe. And I thought, this is perfect. I can just wrap it around this, wrap both tires, right? Wrap the frame, come back. Oh, there's a yellow cable on the ground with all these little broken plastic pieces on the ground with it. And my bike is nowhere to be seen. I guess I don't have a bike anymore. So, and given the fact that I was actually planning on riding 23 miles all the way out there, and the weather didn't let me, that's why I even left the bike in the first place. But I could have put it on the front of the bus and taken it with me. And it wouldn't bring the bike back anyway if you get stressed But I would be upset of the fact that someone violated me by stealing what was not theirs. It's true. But what can you do? I'm actually looking forward to getting a nicer bike anyway. I've always had a decent bike, so I'm sure I could find one on Craigslist or something. And there was a guy on here actually. He's like, I'll get you a bike. I was like, oh, gee, thank you. Thank you so much, Steven, or whatever his name was. And I told him my PayPal is lenalopez1998@gmail.com. So I go to check my PayPal. And he's like, how does $100 sound? I'm like, oh, that sounds great. You're a doll. Thank you so much. So then I'm thinking, wow. Pay for a third of my bike, because I want like a $300 to $400 bicycle with a good lock. But I go to check my balance on my PayPal. It's zero. So he was blowing sunshine. He didn't do anything. But it's okay. I don't expect people to do anything. It's just, he said, oh, I'm going to buy you a new bike. How does $100 sound? I'm like, thank you so much. It's so wonderful to have people like you. Oh, when you send me hugs and kisses, I just really appreciate that. I'm like, well, I mean, I'll send you a hug and a kiss because you're being so kind to me. But no, it didn't work out that way. I wish it would, but, it didn't. It was a blessing. It was a blessing. Yes, I blessed someone else. Someone else's life is more enriched now because they have my bicycle. Right? Is that how it's supposed to be? Is that how I'm supposed to be? I know, right, Patricia? I'll buy you a new bike. I'm like, oh wow, thank you so much. I'm already looking. Oh gee, what should I go to Costco and find one? I mean, whatever, right? And I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's gonna give me $100 to buy a bike. This is great, And then it's like, chirp, chirp. But what am I supposed to expect? I did too. I thought he was gonna do it. I mean, I don't know. He may. No, because you need a new job next, so it was a blessing. I don't need a new job. I'm not working, and I can't work because of my situation with my disability. And if I were to work, then that means that my children would not get a part of my disability. So I don't work. I don't work at all. I'm not looking for work. But I do. I need a new bike, yes. And I'll have to save from the little bit that I do get from my disability. So I'm sure I could find something. It's okay. It's no big deal. I'm sure I could find something on Craigslist. Paula said when I got back, she's like, I told her about the whole story, and she's like, oh, well, you could just go back down by the river. They have bikes down there all the time. I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to do that again. I mean, I saw that one bike and it was like a needle in a haystack trying to, find a bike that's, I mean, I felt bad even grabbing that one because I had to hop the fence and it was stolen. I think it was stolen from somebody else. So, I just had the sharing of the 5-finger discount, although I don't believe I stole it. It was just sitting there in a sea of grass, Somebody had stolen it and, was going to pick it up, and use it for whatever and or sell it or something and get it later. And I was able to find it before they were able to come collect it again. But I don't really come across bicycles very often that are like in that good of a shape or that good quality. It was a Gary Fisher mountain bike, so it was a pretty decent frame, and parts and pieces were pretty okay. For something free. It wasn't like a Huffy. It wasn't like some cheap brand knockoff thing. But I guess I'm just trying to put it all into perspective. I don't know. I'm just babbling at this point. I'm just some things happen and sometimes you're just in such shock. You're just like, wait a minute, did this really happen? Did this really take place? It did. It took place. It took place. It happened. So it is what it is, right? That's what I always say. It is what it is. Ain't nothing you gonna do about it. But I guess I should be going. It's almost midnight. I've been on here for like an hour, and I'm sure you guys get bored, tired of hearing me and talking about the same thing. And I've already had a carrot with salsa, chips with salsa. Earlier on, you saw me eating a banana. And what else? There was something else I was eating. And drinking my juice. Tomorrow's another day. Another adventure. Another life to live. And I'll make the most of it tomorrow too. Should be a nicer day tomorrow. I would love to go rollerblading again, but I think my feet need a break. So, and just to remind you guys, it wasn't all a wash out because I got these. I got these sandals. Yay. Cute, aren't they? Look at that. Cute, and comfy. Very comfy. So, nice. Mine. My sandals. Yeah, I like them. I have some old ones. And my old ones are from like 2016. And they have seen their miles. Let me tell you. But this has a really cool footbed that's really comfortable. It's got like a lot of cushion to it, and it's very comfortable. So I am very excited about wearing these sandals, if you can't tell. And I got a good deal on them, So if none of this would have happened, I'd never found that deal, right? Yeah, they're great for walking like at the mall. Yes, you're right, Patricia. That's exactly what I was thinking about. The mall. The mall? Really? Mark says I have a problem with the mall. I think I have a love affair with it, but I think it's only because I grew up going to a mall. I'm a Southern California kid. What can I say? I was raised basically inside of South Coast Plaza. If you've ever been there in Orange County, huge mall, beautiful place. My dad would go there and buy some nice clothes. My mom would go there and buy some nice clothes. At first, when we were like, when we weren't as affluent, which we never were, but um, we would go shopping in the Sears section, right? And then there was like a little Sears section, the Wet Seal, and you had like some of the cheaper places and stuff. And then when we got more money, we moved on to the other wing of the store where Nordstrom's eventually was, and Neiman Marcus and Saxford Avenue and all those places. But yeah, that was, that's what we did. And we just went to the mall, on a Saturday. My dad was working. My mom and my sister would like, hey, let's go to the mall. And I'm like, yeah, they have a toy store there now, Carousel. I love the Carousel. Used to be 25 cents for a carousel ride. And they would drop me off. And this was before those days when they were abducting kids. So they would drop me off in the toy section at Sears, and I would play with the Intellivision and the Atari and the Star Wars action figures in the aisle, and sometimes the Barbies. Yep. And they would leave me there while they went and tried on dresses at Sears or wherever, and then come back for me. And of course, that's crazy talk these days. These days, that's nutso. I remember my mom used to drop me off at Disneyland Hotel, actually, to catch the train by myself, mind you, an 8-year-old by themselves to go, and this was before cell phones, obviously, before any computers or anything like that. It was yeah, pretty brave of my mom to do such a thing. And she gave me like a quarter to make a phone call when I needed to get picked up. And I would go over to Tomorrowland, and they had a little kiosk that had the phone that was like the speaker phone, that like the whole phone booth thing. And you like push on it, and there's like these big digits, and you like 714554169 3. That was my phone number when I was like a little kid in Santa Ana. And my mom would pick up, and it was like speaker surround sound all around the phone booth. And I was like, wow, this is like the future. This is so cool. Those times are gone. Yeah, those innocence times when people were able to drop their kids off, not have to worry about anything. The whole Adam, what's that guy from America's Most Wanted, had his child abducted in Florida and then killed and stuff. And that's when the whole thing took off, and they started putting, kids' faces on the backs of the milk containers and stuff. And, your parents were like, I'm sorry, I can't let you just hang out at the arcade. You have to, I have to be there or something. And now those times are truly gone, truly gone. And in this day and age, it happens on the internet. People, they get friendly, older men or young men get friendly with young kids, and then the kids give away too much information, and then they meet them somewhere. Yeah, and then they're gone. And a lot of times what happens is they sell them to the black market. You know, it's not like they kill people as much anymore, but they sell them to the black market, and these kids disappear, and that's really sad. Shane writes, it's not a big deal. It's what you enjoy. Do what you love to do. And if that's the mall, then go. Even though if it's trying on clothes and it makes you happy, go for it. I was in Santa Ana today. Yeah, you and probably 2 million people. That place is getting pretty packed these days. I used to work at the Santa Ana Main Place Mall. Have you been there before? Main Place? It's close to downtown Santa Ana. And I used to work at the Oshman Sporting Goods store there. And I remember one time Arnold Schwarzenegger showed up because they did a movie, a scene for a movie there. It was called, what was it called? Kindergarten Cop. Yeah. It was the scene where they're in like the backside of a mall in kind of like the warehousey area between the stores. And they were shooting a scene for that movie at Main Place because Main Place was brand new back then. And I remember I was working at Oshman's selling shoes and things like that. And Arnold Schwarzenegger walks in and started doing like a demo of the weights. And he's like, oh, bump you up, blah, blah, blah. Right. And it was really cool. It was really cool. That's the thing about living in Southern California. Sometimes you run into stars and you meet people. There's another time we were at the LA Farmers Market, and there was a show being filmed. It was called, I don't know if you guys remember it. It was called Entourage. It was on HBO. And pretty much like the whole cast was there. And I was there with my nephew and my mom and my sister and those three people. And my cousin was like, my nephew was enamored with the girl that worked on that show. And he's like, can I take a picture with you? And so I took a picture of him and his like dream girl and stuff from Hollywood and whatnot. But yeah, every time Hollywood, there's always something. There's always like, an opportunity to meet fame, and it's a cool thing. It's a cool thing to grow up in an environment like that because you just never knew who you were going to meet, who you were going to see. And then I worked in television, so I was able to meet a lot of famous people. Like I was working a hockey game one time, and people know that Carrie Underwood is married to a Nashville Predators hockey player, Mike Fisher. Yeah. And Carrie Underwood was always there. People always were asking, and the visiting team would always ask, before when we first started shooting hockey in Nashville, it was like, where's Barbara Mandrell? We hear Barbara Mandrell's here. Well, later Barbara Mandrell's like all retired and everything, but Carrie Underwood's the it girl, right? So they're like, where does Carrie Underwood sit? Where can you guys show me the box seats where Carrie Underwood is? And so when she wasn't on tour, she was in the box seats cheering on her husband Mike, played with the Nashville Predators. And I grew up with a lot of that, a lot of famous people, and I don't really like have stars in my ass about that. I mean, they're just people, and I never asked for their autograph or anything like that. It's kind of tacky. But I'm like working one day down by the tunnel where the Zamboni, which is the ice truck thing that comes onto the ice and it cleans everything up and makes everything shiny and clean again. I'm working right next to that area by the entrance there to the ice. Who shows up is Carrie Underwood. She's like, do you mind if I find a seat here and watch the game? I'm like, no, you can sit wherever you want to, And it was like, she was super sweet. She was like really down to earth. And, oh, I hope I'm not getting in your way. I don't want to distract you from your job. And I'm like, you're Carrie Underwood. You pretty much kind of distract everyone from their job, right? Male, female, it doesn't matter. Everybody has stars in their eyes, but it was cool to see a person who's just really down to earth. And, I used to follow her on American Idol. So I was a huge fan. I loved her music and all that stuff. So for me, it was like super cool, to have even had her talk to me. Yeah. She's super pretty, super talented, and a super sweet soul. You know, that's what makes her like even extra beautiful is that, you know, inside she radiates a beauty that, you know, is something else, you know, it's something else. I felt bad for her recently because she had an accident and I guess it was pretty bad. She kind of got a bunch of stitches on her face and didn't want to show herself. I felt so bad for her. I mean, it's like your face is your basically your money, right? And you know, when you're in Hollywood or Nashville or wherever, a star, you know, image is everything. And she didn't want to be seen with, you know, the scar and stuff. So she went to a plastic surgeon. And I guess she recently, you know, revealed herself and everything. And she's done a few things since. But, you know, I felt bad for her. It was kind of sad, you know. What happened to my bike? Oh God, Nicole. I parked it at Nicollet Station over in downtown Minneapolis. It's a train, like a Metro light rail station there, and I was connecting to a train. I mean a bus actually, and I parked it there because I didn't want to take my bike. It was raining. Came back hours later, gone, gone. The only thing left is that. That's it. And I know I've done this several times, but they just broke through on the combo lock. It was like nothing for them. And they even had to cut this. So, toast. Bike is now in the hands of some other person who didn't own it, who didn't buy it. You know, I didn't buy that bike, but, you know. So, anyway, I guess I better go. I've said that like an hour ago. I said that like 15 minutes ago, 16 minutes ago. I should go. Yeah. I mean, I want to talk. You know, if people want to interact, I'd love to chat. I slept a very long time yesterday. I was awake this morning, like at 5 in the morning, because I went to bed at like 7 and then got up at 10, answered a text, and then went right back to bed. Crashed. Didn't even take off my makeup. It was like just too tired. Too tired. And yeah. So now I'm just kind of wired, you know. I'm just like, somebody want to talk to me? I want to talk to you. Give me a topic to talk about. I'll talk about it. You know, just, you know, I don't do politics, but, you know, if you want to talk about anything at all, I'm like your late night chatterbox buddy. All two of you watching now. Says it's two people watching on Facebook and one person on YouTube. So I better just take that as a sign that I'm boring the crap out of people and that they need to get to bed and they would rather watch paint dry. So I will see you guys another day tomorrow. Do you think you can get a bike for $100 or you need them more expensive? Well, I mean, I won't buy a bike for $100 unless I get a good deal on Craigslist because I don't want to buy a clunker bike. I mean, I really don't. I have standards when it comes to bicycles and stuff, and they have to kind of at least have a really decent crank system and derailleurs and, you know, brakes and stuff like that. I mean, feasibly, I think I could find one for $150 because, you know, you can find a bike like that for $300. So half price, you know, I think the least amount would be $150 for the kind of bike that I'm looking for. But you know, I mean, I found a bike for free and didn't have to spend a dime for it. So I'm sure there's $100 bikes out there. You know, well, I appreciate that, Shane. And again, you know, my PayPal is LenaLopez1998 @gmail.com. For whatever it's worth, if you want to donate, you know, I will definitely use it to buy a new bike. And, you know, but I don't want to impose or anything like that. I mean, just like, you know, it's a bummer. It happens and stuff. It's life in a big city. And I should have known better, you know. Thank you, Clark Kent. You say, I'm so glad you and Mark are treating each other better. I've been praying for y'all. Clark Kent, are you Superman? I'm sure you get called Superman all the time. But yeah, I don't think it's important to, yeah. I don't think it's important to be negative. You know, I think it's important to love, to respect, and to honor the other person. And Mark is a person that I love, I respect, and I honor, you know. And I don't know what happened to me. I guess I was just frustrated. And he said things that were really hurtful, you know, and I'm like, I don't even want to go there, you know. I mean, I would rather encourage and give people hope than to like get them upset at me, you know. And I look at everything that he did for me. I mean, he came to me when nobody, nobody was around. I mean, there wasn't a soul who would come to help me out. I mean, I was all by myself, you know. And he's the one that reached out to me and he said, you know, would you like for me to stay? And, you know, here I am all like, you know, in a hospital bed, ICU, can't move my hands at all. I mean, just totally dependent, you know. And he's like, I'll stay, you know, I'll help you. And immediately, hey, nurse, can you get some Coban? Because their hands are like doing this thing, you know, and we need to get that out of there. Why don't you guys do your job and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, he took over feeding me. He took over my care, everything, you know. It's like he was my therapist in the hospital and my go-to spokesperson. And I didn't know any of the legalese and the doctorese and all the medicalese, you know. And there he was, like a knight in shining armor, just there. All of a sudden, nobody else was there. I never got a get well letter from my mom or from my sister or from extended family or from friends. Nobody said anything. Nobody did anything. And, you know, Mark did. And we've had our differences and, you know, we've had our spats and our arguments and everything and our, you know, our disagreements. You know, we still disagree. You know, I say, I believe that you and I, you as a trans man, me as a trans woman, canceled each other out. And, you know, when you say something to either one of us that we don't agree with, we're going to try to bulldog our way to explain our situation and try to get the other person to agree, right? But that doesn't work with Mark at all, because if he's telling you a certain thing, he believes it and that's it. And that settles it. And for me, I'm the same way. You know, if I don't believe it, and I'll tell you till I'm, you know, tired of saying so, I believe that we canceled each other out as a trans couple. I mean, and the reason I'm saying that is because I see where, you know, I see where he's at now, right? He started taking tea when I left. He has gotten to the size of like huge with his biceps, you know, they're like massive. People are saying, oh, it's so nice to see you back in your normal self again. I mean, you were like somebody else before, and I don't know what happened to you. You kind of lost yourself. And I'm thinking to myself, gee, that was with me, you know. And then people tell me, they're like, oh my gosh, Lena, you're so much more happy these days. You have so much more life in you. You have so many more things to say. You're so much more expressive. And I'm like, I think, yeah, I think we canceled each other out. And I would bet my bottom dollar on it. But he's going to disagree. He's going to say, oh no, it's you. I'm like, it's not just me, it's both of us. We both have a part to play in this. It's not just you as the healer and me as the pupil or the patient. It's, he says he suffers from traumas in his life. And, being abused at a young age, from the age of 8 to 14 or something like that, that's massive, massive. And he's never had counseling for it. And, it's hard. It's really hard. And it's a struggle. And my heart goes out to him because he dealt with a lot of pain early on. And the fact that he was also a lesbian for many years. Also, it's another thing that he was dealing with as well. Then I came along, and I didn't look like this. I know that for sure. I was like looking pretty bad. I'm like all bruised up, puffed up, had just had my hair transplanted, so I had no hair on my head. It was like nasty. So, yeah, it was interesting. And the last several years have been interesting. And there's positives and negatives, unfortunately. And, sometimes it's very bittersweet, but it's for the best. And it's not just for my kids or anything like that, because I haven't really been in contact with them since, but it is, oh wow, Shane, I was abused for 16 years. Oh my God, Shane, that's so hard. How have you been dealing with that? Wow, 16 years. Wow. I'm so sorry. I'd give you a hug if I could, right? Yeah. Almost met you, actually. Mark and I did when we were in SoCal, and you live in Covina or something like that. Wow, 16 years. See, you think you got it hard, right? And then you run into people like Shane who have dealt with an abusive situation for the age of gosh, my second oldest son is 16 years old, and his whole entire life, that's, oh my God, that is just too much. What is my phone doing? I don't know. I don't have your phone. My phone's right here. I don't know what your phone is doing. It started when I was 5. Whoa. And then a child at that. Have I ever been to any transgender conferences? Never really. I've been to a health conference for trans people. I've never been to a transgender conference, no. never. I was only a part of anything transgender at all when I first came out, when I was asked to go, like in the fall of 2014. But prior to that, for a whole year, I wasn't even really involved in anything trans related at all. I mean, I was just kind of like living my life. I had like a couple of cis boyfriends during that time. And I was very fortunate, during my transition. Um, I didn't run into much issues and stuff at work other than the Christians who basically demonized me. But, with Fox Sports and NBC and other places, it was like, hey, we're so glad that you're happy and you do good work and we want to continue working with you. And they were actually offering me more work. So I was at the point of like really adjusting, but then it all happened and I ended up in the state that I was in. But I feel really bad because, with Mark, we said some pretty stupid things to the trans community, and I totally regret all of it. And a lot of times, bridges like that can't be mended, can't be repaired. I would hope in the future that they would see my heart and know that I was just a little screwed up, a little crazy, little nutso, little not there, you know. And, because when you fall off a mountain and you roll your car 15 times, right? Think about it. This is a car. This is you. Inside the car, you're the peanut butter, and it does this 15 times, all the way to the bottom. You hit a tree, and you think, oh my God, it's like one of those scary movies, action adventures. Think Jurassic Park, where the Jeep is stuck in the tree, remember? And it's coming down and they're like standing, or the guy and the kid are like trying to get away from it and it's coming down. I'm thinking that there's a tree right here that's holding the car from falling off the edge of the world. Thankfully, it was the bottom, but at night, you can't tell. You just can't tell. There's no way. You would never know. So, when you've been through shit like that, it makes you really appreciate life. So, a bicycle getting stolen, it's not that big of a deal. It's okay. It's okay. I can deal with it. Um, but I would love to help out people in the trans community. I would love to be able to encourage people and to, get them to, accept themselves and love themselves for where they're at and to welcome challenges. I was recently somebody friended me that was going through struggles in their transition and how their wife rejects them and how they're having issues and how their wife tells them all these negative things and all that stuff. And it's just like, girl, been there, done that, have the certificate to show, I mean, the stolen bicycle got stolen. Not so bad, too funny, really. It's true. I thought, the universe gave me that bike, and when the universe wanted to take it away, it took it away. So it was the bike of the universe or God or whatever gave it to me. I rode it for a while. I was super excited to have it. Grateful all the time that I did have it. Used it. I don't know if you guys remember, but that video I did just the other day, I went to Target and got some groceries, and basically it's like 10:30 at night. It's not safe, right? I'm riding back on this bicycle with like 60 pounds of groceries. I'm like, it's in my basket, one of them, and the other one is on my handlebar, or I'm holding it as I'm holding my hand out here, kind of straddling on the main bar, the middle bar, and I'm like, oh my God, I just need to get home. This is really stupid, you know, but that bike was there for me when I needed it. I just needed to spring extra cash other than this Mickey Mouse thing that I called a lock. It did nothing for my bike. Nothing. I can't imagine what the crook thought. He's like, oh my God, I'm being handed a bicycle. This moron, whoever this person is, they actually bought this stupid lock and they think that they're going to keep their bike. Yeah. So lesson learned, don't ever buy a cheap ass cable lock from Master Lock because they suck. They suck. They don't work, you know? They don't do the job. But yeah, such is life. But it is funny. It's funny after it happens. I'm going to turn on the air. It's funny when it happens because there's really not much you can do about it. You know, you want to do some more about it, but you can't. Have you heard of Southern Comfort Conference? Oh, yes, definitely. It's a famous conference in Atlanta, actually. It used to be, and then they moved it to Florida. They tend to give free scholarships in order to attend their workshops in the week that they are present. The conference used to be in Atlanta, Georgia. Sorry. I ended up wanting to go when I used to live in Nashville, but I never did. And, it was one of those things, where it would have been fun at the time. Now I don't think it would be so fun anymore because I live it, I mean, I, you know, I went when Chad Bono went and it was amazing. Yeah, I mean, I imagine it'd be pretty cool, when you have a guest speaker and stuff, but it's like, I'm like 5 years in and I'm just living life at this point, and I don't really need people to teach me how to do makeup. I know how to do makeup, and, I don't really have a problem presenting or anything like that. So, um, I would love to encourage, that would be something that'd be really cool to do. That would be fun. Um, Kind of giving back to the community. Yeah, I could do a seminar. Yeah. Lena's life, right? Yeah. Oh boy. Then they're gonna be like, aren't you the tranny that said this and that and the other? Or aren't you the person that said this, that, and the other? I would love to do it. I mean, I love being in front of a camera. Obviously, um, I don't know. In the past, no. In the past, I was like, keep me behind the camera. I don't want to do that. I used to produce a show for Trinity Broadcasting Network. It's called Real Videos, and it was like an interview show with music videos and interspersed between the interviews and stuff. We would interview Christian artists and go on location and travel and do these really cool little interviews with them. And I'd have to come up with questions. I'd have to schmooze with them. I'd have to play the whole PR role. And I was like, go, Rudy, can you please just do the producer job? I'll pay you. You could take the higher cut of pay, and I'll just be a camera operator. Because I was like, I'd like to shoot, frame, and focus, and light, and all that stuff. That for me was super cool. But something happened in my transition, and I started doing Lena's life. And I remember my old friend Jenny Taylor was like, Lena, you should have your own channel, you know? And I was like, really? What do I say? And she's like, oh, just be yourself. You're so sweet, blah, blah, blah. You know, like, I'm not tooting my own horn. That's what she would say. I think I'm not, whatever. I am who I am, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm not sure. Have you seen the documentation Southern Comfort Conference? That's how it all started from my FTM, who was with a MTF. Yes. Yeah, I remember that. But my friend Jenny was like, Lena, you could do some on my channel, you know, and I'll do some, you know, you can check the water, see how you do. And, you know, Jenny had a different way of doing it. If anyone knows who Jenny Taylor is, or Jennifer Nicole Sweet, she used to go, hello, my lovelies. How are you today? It's so wonderful to see you all. And I see Jimmy and Bobby and Sammy, and you know, it's like Romper Room or something. I don't know. I'm just kidding. So anyway, I was like, just me. I was just like, hi, my name's Lena, and I'm just a transgender woman that's transitioning and has children, and you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm struggling and going through this, that, the other. And people just, I guess they ate it up. They liked it, you know, and they enjoyed having me doing my little open, intimate share-a-thon, basically. I was just like, you know, just, I reveal way too much, though. Honestly, I do. I mean, it's like, shut up, Lena. Don't tell people you're on disability, you know, but there I go saying stuff. Or shut up, Lena. Don't tell people where you live. And then I'm like saying it or whatever, you know, and talking about my children in the past and, you know, naming names and stuff. It's like, no, that's not cool. You know, for the sake of other people, it's not cool. But, you know, my channel's always been about very much like just being open and sharing and, you know, just kind of giving everybody, you know, the raw me. You know, if would I ever go back to be a camera operator? Well, I loved to do it. I was really good at it and I enjoyed it. And even after my transition, I loved doing it. It was fun. Um, it's rewarding. It's exciting. It's spontaneous. It's me, right? Because I was a freelancer. I never knew where I was going to be. I could be like, one time a friend of mine said, hey, Lopez, we need you down here and I'm like, where? He goes, well, I need you down here in Tegucigalpa, Honduras tomorrow. Can you make it? Do you have a passport? We'll get you a ticket and we'll get you leaving in about 6 hours. What do you think? I'm like, yeah, I live for that stuff. That is so cool. You know, for me, living like La Vida Loca like that is just super cool. So I ended up going down to Tegucigalpa, Honduras, and practicando mi español, pude hablar con la gente allá y decirle cuánta cosa que quería y trabajar con un grupo cristiano y hacer cosas que no podía hacer antes. So anyway, I said basically that I was able to go down there and have a good time. Not really, I didn't say that, but I didn't really want to repeat everything I said. So I ended up, you know, going down there. And another time, I'm like cutting the grass at the house, and I get this buzz on my phone and answer it. Hey, Lopez, we're going to be leaving for Israel in about 3 days or in about a week or something, in a couple weeks. Can you make it? And I was like, oh, dang, my My passport's not up to date yet. Up, I'll work on it. Okay, we'll pencil you in. And I'm like, that's so cool. I'm gonna go to Israel in like 2 weeks and stuff. So I scrambled, and the closest place to get a passport was out in Chicago, and I lived in Nashville at the time. So I ended up driving my family with me, and we made it a whole trip to Chicago. And we took the train from Indianapolis, drove up to Nashville, from Nashville to Indianapolis, took the train from Indianapolis, rode it up into Chicago, got my passport. We spent the night in a hotel, had a great time. Kids loved it, loved the pool. Obviously, kids love pools. And then it was like a Groupon deal, had a super great time. Went to the passport agency, got my passport done over at Walmart, took the picture, Walgreens, took the picture over by Michigan Avenue, took pictures with the kids, went to the Sears Tower. It's like none of that was planned. None of that was organized. It was just like the seat of my pants, So we ended up having a really great time, and then taking the train back to Indianapolis in the car and back home. And I had my passport. And the next thing I know, I'm on a plane out to Jerusalem. So yeah, it's so fun. Freelancing can be super exciting. I did US figure skating championships. I did every professional sport, golf. Golf's kind of boring. I'm not a big golf fan. But a lot of NHL and a lot of NFL, a lot of college football, a lot of college hockey, which is really big up here in Minnesota. If you know, go for hockey in St. Cloud State. But yeah, even shot hockey out on a frozen river across between the border of Canada and the United States. It was super cool and super cold that I ended up buying some really heavy duty boots that I would wear because it was so cold out there. But I could talk for hours, people. Story after story. I have so many. It's like I could talk your ear off, literally. It's like, and I'm in rare form today because I got lots of sleep, so I have lots to say. But I see that there's only one person watching on Facebook, and 3 people. Wow, there's 3 people watching on YouTube, and I got 2 thumbs up today. Oh, it said 2 people watching. 3 people watching. Oh, good. It went back up. Yeah, that's good. So today I got complimented. It was so cool. I'm like at the bus stop on my way back from Ridgedale Center at the mall there, and this young African American woman, she's like, I love your outfit. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. And she's like, yeah, it's really nice. I like it. And I'm like, yeah, it's comfy. I like the overalls. Overalls are so fun, fun to wear. And, before transition, clothing was so boring. Guys just, they don't get any love when it comes to, trying to fix this light. They don't get any love when it comes to, let me see if I can fix this light. Hold on. Bring it a little close. Oops. Living in close spaces, I dropped my spices. Okay, let's see if I can get it back up there without tipping over. Ooh, that's super bright. Wow, it's intensely bright. So anyway, it was pretty cool though. She was really nice to me, and I appreciated her, chatting and stuff like that. And it was fun. It was fun, and it's nice. It's nice. It is nice because when I was living in Silver City, I felt like I was like all by myself. Like, I barely interacted with any females at all, and it was like, Mark and I and the pavement, you know, and we were known as the Walkers, and we just kind of, hung out as a couple, and we did everything together. And now it's like so nice because I get to like meet ladies and stuff like that, and just to interact. And like if I go shopping and stuff, they're like super cool, super nice. And it's just a nice feeling. I don't do it for validation. I just do it because I'm human. I like having people to talk to. It's just fun. you know and when you're just talking to one person 90% of the time, your world becomes pretty small. It really does. So I am grateful to be where I'm at right now. And the reason I go to the mall is because it's like a great place to interact with people, and a great place to, like create relationships and stuff like that. Like, with the salespeople at the different stores that you like to visit and stuff like that. And then you get like a rapport with them. I mean, it was starting when I was living in Nashville. I'm sorry, in Minnesota. I remember going to the Macy's back then, 2014, and like, oh, hi, Lena, how you doing today? We got this such and such on special, and we would love to share, show you something new that we bought, that we have in stock. And I'd be like, oh, that's cool, that's pretty. So it's just really nice. you know what is that? It's like a ghost. See that? It's like it goes across my. It's like, am I disappearing? Am I like becoming a spirit or something? I don't know. Anyway, it has been a pleasure to talk to you guys, and I appreciate every single one of you for hanging out with me. And and for those that join me later via on demand, or if you just like scroll through it and stuff, I hope I didn't bore you guys. I hope that you guys got something out of it, and that you understand that, um, you know, life is not worth, you know, crying over the spilled milk, you know, because there are so many lessons to learn. And even in those hard times, like losing my bike, like missing out on an appointment, there's still greater lessons to learn. And if we can learn patience, we can all be better people. So welcome the challenges that life brings you, and don't curse them. Just work through them and become better people in the process. Love you guys. And I just want you guys to know that I appreciate all of you and everything that you do and say, and how kind you are to me, how open and friendly you are. I appreciate it very much. I I need you guys. Um, you know, Interaction is wonderful. Being able to have friends here is wonderful. I'm a person who's been rejected by mostly everyone I've ever known. So it's super nice to have new friends, even if you're all like on like social media and I don't see you. Some of you I do. Some of you I get a chance to meet, but most of you I won't. But I just really appreciate that you guys would spend the time in your busy day and, spend at least 5 minutes with me. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I don't make a dime. I don't make a buck or anything. I don't have that kind of an account. But if you want to subscribe to my channel, it's Lena's Life. And my YouTube is facebook.com/Lynna, LYNNAC17. So that's my Facebook page. If you want to friend me there, I would be happy to be your friend. And if you have any questions at all, I would love to, answer whatever questions you may have. Personal message me, text me. My text number is area code 575-519-5930. And, you can text me, and hopefully I can have something beneficial to say or help you with. But thank you. Thank you for allowing me to come into your home and to be able to share my life with you guys. I'm just one person, one person, but we need each other, especially if you're trans and you find yourself alone most of the time. Know that you're not alone, because we are all here in this boat together, and not just trans people either. But if you find yourself in need of a friend, you're a cis woman, or a lesbian woman or something. I mean, it's like we all need each other, and we all can grow if we all would just reach out and make ourselves vulnerable and make ourselves available to love and to be loved. So you guys, thanks. I will see you tomorrow or in a few hours after I get some sleep, and we'll figure out what else, other things I can get myself into. But I appreciate everything, and I'll see you guys after I do the laundry, probably. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Anyway, have a good night or morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you may